I was always a bit of a loner at school anyway. Growing up an individual in a school full of clones, you know, carbon copies of each other, do you know what I mean? They all wear the same shit, you know, and they all just do the same thing, and they're all, you know, just dumb as a bag of hammers, you know. So, you know, sometimes you just got to sort of like go, no, I'm me, I'm an individual, and I'm not gonna play by your rules. I'm not gonna, you know, do these things. My name's Sarge. I am 45. I'm a professional body piercer, and I have been for 25 years. The goth scene's a very, very strange one because the goth scene is very, very wide-ranging. It's full of different genres. So when it comes to fitting into a specific genre of goth, I don't think I actually specifically fit into anything that I would be able to explain. Now that I'm 45, I'm finding it really strange. I've actually sort of like got more of a lust for life than I had when I was 21. When I was 21, I really spanked the hell out of myself with drugs and drink, things like that. Whereas now I've actually got to 45, I've actually sort of like suddenly realised that I've got to slow down and I can't do these things anymore. But I've actually sort of like come to the conclusion that I would rather actually make it to 90. Yeah, I want to be here and be a miserable old bastard. I think my lust for life is literally just sort of like a longevity thing now. You know, I really have actually I do actually feel like an old vampire, which is great. I've always wanted to feel that way, and now I do. So you know, I don't want to die anymore. I want to carry on. If I could actually sort of like stay the same age as I am now forever, I would do. At a drop of a hat, and that's just a romantic view of it. Do you know what I mean? But that's actually quite a big gothic thing. So, you know, you'll find a lot of goths aspire to that. Dressing like this it's just like having a fancy dress party every day. People like me are like lifestyle, you know, just always dressed like this. I haven't got one normal piece of clothing at all. Everything's black. My problem is that I look out on the world and I see loads and loads of women that look exactly the same. You'd think that cloning was actually sort of like, you know, it's supposed to be illegal, but not in Bournemouth apparently. You know, blonde hair, you know, like one of them sort of like, you know, boutique sort of like padded jackets, black leggings, Ugg boots. I mean, come on. You know, orange makeup's great, isn't it? You know, and I can actually sort of like, I'll be piercing people like that all day, like this, and I'm like going, my God, they have actually cloned people. I originally wanted to be a vet, actually. I used to work at Sandown Zoo on the Isle of Wight. Don't know what happened there. I kind of fell back on body piercing because it was kind of, I was already body piercing by that point. Jordan is a very, very good friend of mine for a good 7 years. Unfortunately, he's dead now, but that was about 3 years ago. But yeah, he's sadly missed. His body modification thing was not as out of control as some people I know, but I know that it did actually affect, you know, directly affect his not being able to get jobs and things like that because of his facial tattoos and stuff like that. When we actually sort of decided on this place, I decided I wanted it nice and open plan because most of the places that you get in and around Dorset are all sort of like just dowdy little places, you know, and you can't really see very well in them and stuff like that. So a lot of people sort of like walk straight in here and they think it's like some kind of set from Saw. But hey, I like that because I'm gothic. Being an individual is, as far as I'm concerned, the only way to go forward. You know, where are you guys going to come when the apocalypse comes? My place, because I've got all the swords. You know, it takes people like me to, you know, to make these jokes. What makes me tick? This lady here.
I spotted Sarge sat on a sofa and I thought, I'm going to go and introduce myself. I sort of popped over and went, hi, you're Sarge, aren't you? And he sat there and went, do you want to come back to mine and drink wine? And I went, yeah, all right then. And that was it. Fastest pull in history. Seriously.
I suppose we are Elder Goths, you know, elders of the tribe.
It's kind of goths who didn't grow out of it
Yeah.
You know, so we've stood the test of time.
We know loads of them. Part of my job as a live performance artist is also doing quite a lot of artwork at home as well. Now I've actually been sort of like collecting loads and loads of monitors over the years. I've always been working up to this day of just sort of like smashing them all up. I think that this piece of work is called I Am Obsolete. So, I am obsolete. Once upon a time I wanted to live fast and die young and leave a good looking corpse and all that.
Well, you've missed that one, haven't you?
I missed that one, yeah. We definitely need like an old goth, like old people's home. Wouldn't that be great? We'll have you know, like we'll all be 80 and we'll be still sort of wearing orthopaedic knee rocks, and we'll have a bar, and we'll all get stoned, and we'll have strippers.